Okay, so picking up the last video, I kind of got chopped off the end, but that's okay. Because it showed you, I explained what the confidence interval is and how we can set up the Excel sheet to start. And now I'm going to continue and add to it. Like I mentioned in the announcement, I'm going to keep adding to my Excel sheet. So save your Excel sheet and label the things you're doing so you know what's going on when we start to add more and more to it. Because in section 1, we're doing the mean. In section 2, we'll do standard deviation, which will change the formula slightly. So I'll just add on a new formula, but I'll be using a lot of the same numbers. And then again for section 3 with the population parameters. So what I want to do here is I want to add an equation. Okay, and my equation is going to be E equals, what I'm trying to find is the margin of error. And for my margin of error, it starts off with, if you see what I've done, I hit insert and then I go into formula and now I'm just typing my things in. And if you're not as handy typing in the things, it's okay. You could just kind of type in as you have them. So it's my critical value of Z, which we looked at solving on the previous videos, right? And that's just right here. This is your critical value of Z, okay? Your Z score corresponding to that critical value of the confidence level. Times, and again, you can look at the formula in the book, it's going to be the standard deviation, which will be sigma, and I'm going to cruise up here to my symbols and look for sigma. These are a little hard to see with my old eyes, but there's sigma, divided by the square root, and there's that symbol, of n. Okay, and that is my formula for the margin of error. Okay, now, it's a little bigger. There we go. Well, look at this formula. Well, if I need this formula, then I need, let's see what I need. I need Z sub C. That's what this is. In fact, I'll even put it in there that this is Z. And if you don't have that little formula thing, I can just right click, format cell, hit subscript, OK, type C, then right click, format cell, unclick the subscript, hit OK. Okay, so there's my critical score. That's another way of doing it. For subscript, it's just longer that way. If you do the insert and then the equation and then use the symbols up top, it's easier. Nonetheless, here's Z sub C. I got it. I need my sigma. I need my n. So I'm going to put in an n value, which they tell me. I'm going to put in my square root of n then. So I'm going to insert an equation. I want it to be the square root of n. And now I'm just going to move it up to here. Excuse me. So there's my square root of n. And then I also need sigma. So I'm going to insert a symbol in this case. I don't need the whole equation. And there's the symbol right there. And then close. Okay. Now, what am I going to type here? Well, n is just going to be a number I'm going to type. But the square root of n then is a formula, right? It's going to be equals square root of this value, whatever is there, and that's going to give me my square root. Sigma is going to be a number they give me, so I'll just type it in so there won't be a formula for that one. Okay, and now I can click down and drag and see what happens, right? These are meaningless because it's just going to be a number to type in. Now here I'm going to type in this formula. So it's going to be equals Z sub C is this box times sigma, which is this box, divided by the square root of n. Sorry, there's a mosquito in here and I finally got him, which is that box. And right now it says it doesn't make sense because I'm dividing by 0. Okay, and that's good. So that's what this means. It just means you're dividing by 0, which doesn't exist in mathematics, right? But now watch what happens. Let's take a look and enter in this problem. Okay, and you can see everything that's typed in here. My confidence level is 95. I come up here and change it to 0.95. Watch those numbers change. Bang. right? It's like a casino or something. Sigma is 3.2, so I put in 3.2. My N value is 81, I put in 81, and everything else changes. It says I want 3 decimal places, so if I want, I can come up here and decrease the decimal. Where's my decimal decrease? Right there. I want it to 3 places. It looks like 0.697. Lo and behold, we are done. And you have now set up your Excel sheet to cover these types of problems. Okay? And what's going to happen, it'll ask you to set up the interval. Now again, this is my margin of error, so what does that mean? Well, again, let's say I did a problem. They tell me that the sample mean was 12, and they tell me, or we found that the margin of error was 3.4. They say, what is the interval? Well, the interval is going to be your mean minus that margin of error, all the way up to your mean plus the margin of error. And that will be the interval that we hope, that we're confident will contain the population mean. So I do 12 minus 3.4, which would be 8.6, and 12 plus 3.4 would be 15.4, and they would ask you to write out the interval, and so you would write it like that. Okay? But again, here's my Excel sheet, and then you're going to save this Excel sheet. And then the next problem, all you have to do is change this top number, change the N, change the sigma, bam, done. So start setting up your Excel sheet and start getting used to that Excel, letting it do the work for you. Have a great day.